The first time I saw her, she wasn't supposed to exist. The record said the Aurelian species had been wiped out 3 centuries ago. Elegant, empathic beings of light and sound, destroyed in the final years of the Aurian Wars. But there she was, standing in the ruins of a shattered biodome on a forgotten moon, her silver eyes reflecting the dying sun. My name is Captain Elias Trent, explorer for the United Terran Survey Fleet. We'd been mapping the remnants of pre-collapse civilizations when a distress ping reached us, faint, almost like a heartbeat buried under layers of static. I followed it out of curiosity. That decision changed everything. The coordinates led to Aurelia 9, a moon orbiting a red gas giant. The atmosphere was thin, the ruins ancient, except for the pulse. My ship, the Wayfarer, landed in a crater where crystalline towers jutted from the ground like the bones of gods. I stepped out in full gear, scanning for life. Then I heard it, a voice. Not through comms. Inside my head. You shouldn't be here, human. Froze. My scanner flickered, energy reading off the charts. And then she appeared from behind a broken archway. Tall, slender, skin that shimmered between gold and ivory, eyes like molten silver. A living being. An Aurelian. Impossible. She wore what looked like ceremonial armor, faintly glowing from within. The air shimmered around her like heat haze. You're alive, I said, my voice caught between awe and disbelief. Alive, she echoed softly. That's a complicated word. Her name was Liara. She said it like music, each syllable flowing into the next. She claimed she'd been waiting for someone who could hear. I didn't understand what she meant. Not yet. I told her I was human from Earth. Her expression changed. A flicker of recognition. Earth, she whispered almost reverently. The world of beginnings. Her hand hovered near her heart, where a faint crystal pulsed. I didn't realize then that it was a memory core, the last remnant of her people. When I asked what happened to the Aurelians, she looked away. We loved too deeply, she said. And the stars punished us for it. Something about her voice, ancient, sad yet curious, made me stay. I spent the next few days exploring the ruins with her. My ship systems kept warning me to leave, but I didn't care. There was something magnetic about her. Not just her beauty, but her loneliness. She moved like someone carrying the weight of entire galaxies. Every evening, we sat near the crystalline pools that glowed from bioluminescent algae, and she'd ask me about Earth, about music, oceans, laughter. Do humans still sing? She'd ask. All the time, I'd smile. Usually off-key. She'd laugh softly, a sound like chimes underwater. Then one night, as I adjusted my comm array, she came closer than ever before. Her eyes caught the starlight, and for a moment, she looked almost human, fragile even. Elias, she said, testing my name carefully. Why do you call each other such strange things? Darling, love, sweetheart. They're endearments, I explained, chuckling. Words we use for people who mean something to us. She tilted her head, considering. Darling, she repeated softly, as if tasting it. Smiled. Yeah, like that. Something in her expression changed. For the first time, I saw color flood her pale cheeks. A soft golden blush. She turned away quickly, but I caught it. That's when I said it. Without thinking, without planning. Careful, darling, I teased. You're starting to sound human. She froze. Slowly, she turned to face me again. Her silver eyes were wide, not angry but trembling, like something deep inside her had been stirred awake. Say it again, she whispered. What? That word. Say it again. Darling. She closed her eyes, as if the sound alone filled her with warmth. Yes, she breathed. That one. And that was the moment I realized. She wasn't just some ancient alien survivor. She was feeling something forbidden, even dangerous for her kind. Middle. Liara confessed her truth a few days later. The Aurelians had been powerful, capable of bending energy and emotion into physical reality. But their downfall came from their empathy. They tried to bind their hearts to every living thing, creating what they called the Great Harmony. It became unstable. Emotions clashed, reality fractured, and the Aurelians were consumed by the very bond they'd created. Only Liara survived, sealed inside a stasis chamber by her people's last collective will. They hoped one day someone would awaken her, someone whose mind was strong enough to connect without breaking. "I was meant to guide, not to feel," she said quietly. "But when you called me that name, something changed. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to comfort her. Another part was terrified. The energy readings around her were climbing. My instruments showed localized gravitational shifts whenever she felt strong emotions. She wasn't just sentient. She was a living singularity of emotion. Still I stayed. Every night we talked more. She asked about human love, how it works, how it hurts. I told her everything. About heartbreak, about holding hands, about the beauty of saying, "I miss you," and meaning it. "Humans are fragile," she murmured once, tracing her glowing fingers through the air. "And yet you keep reaching for each other, even when it hurts. That's what makes us alive," I said. She smiled. "Then maybe I want to be alive again." The next morning, disaster struck. My ship's AI, Vera, sent an emergency alert. "Captain, the moon's core is destabilizing. Anomalous energy surges detected. Recommend immediate evacuation." Liara seemed distraught. "No, it's me," she said, her voice trembling. "My emotions are linked to the core. It's awakening because I am." Cracks of light split across the ground, glowing like molten veins. The entire moon trembled. I tried to pull her toward the ship, but she resisted. "If I leave, the core will collapse," she said. "This world will die completely. I have to return to the harmony." "You'll die," I said. "I already did," she replied softly. "But you reminded me what it means to feel. That is enough." I refused to accept that. I told her humans don't walk away when someone needs saving, even if that someone glows like a star. She smiled again, that soft, fragile smile. "Always the stubborn ones," she whispered. "Your species burns so brightly." I grabbed her hand. It was warm, pulsing with light. "We'll find another way," I said. "Together." Something flickered in her, a mixture of fear and hope. And then she leaned forward, resting her forehead against mine. "Say it again," she murmured. "Before I forget the sound." "Darling," I whispered. "You're not alone." The light surged. Energy flooded the air, and suddenly I wasn't on the moon anymore. My consciousness drifted, surrounded by a sea of golden light, filled with echoes of voices, laughter, sorrow. I saw glimpses of the Aurelian past, their civilization of empathy, their fall, their last song. Liara's voice guided me through it. "You're seeing the harmony," she said in my mind. "What we once were. Then bring it back," I told her. "You can rebuild it. But this time let it feel, not control. With you. With us." Her light intertwined with mine. For a moment, I felt her entire existence, her loneliness, her beauty, her fear of destroying everything she loved. And then I showed her what it meant to be human, to laugh through tears, to love through pain, to say, "darling," and mean hope. The energy stabilized. The tremors stopped. When I opened my eyes, the moon was silent again, the cracks sealed. Liara knelt beside me, her glow dimmer but stable. "You did it," I said, smiling weakly. "No," she replied. "We did." Ending. Over the next weeks, the planet healed. The once dead structures began to hum faintly again, powered by a steady golden core deep underground. Liara said it was the beginning of a new harmony, not one of domination but balance. I sent a message back to the fleet, reporting an anomalous stabilization event. I didn't mention her. Couldn't. The universe wasn't ready for her. Not yet. But every night she'd visit me by the crystal pools, her light casting soft ripples across the water. "Will you leave soon?" she asked one night, her voice tinged with sadness. "Duty says I should," I admitted. "But my heart says otherwise." "Humans," she said with a faint smile, "always divided between stars and hearts. Maybe that's what makes us human," I said. She reached out, brushing her fingers against my cheek. I felt a spark. Not just energy but emotion. Pure and real. "Then teach me," she whispered. "Teach me to live like you do." I laughed softly. "That might take a while." "I have time," she said. "As long as you call me that again." "Darling." Her eyes closed. That same golden blush returned. "Yes," she whispered. "That one." We stayed like that for hours, watching the light rise over the rejuvenated ruins. And for the first time since I'd arrived, I didn't feel like an explorer charting alien worlds. Felt home. Weeks later, when my fleet finally tracked my signal and ordered me to return, I hesitated. The idea of leaving her felt unbearable. Liara seemed to sense it. She stood by the landing ramp of the Wayfarer, looking at the stars. "You have to go," she said gently. "Your people need you. And you." "I'll be here," she smiled, "keeping this world alive. But when you return, bring music. Bring laughter. Bring your heart." I took her hand one last time. "I'll bring us," I said. "Because I'm not done teaching you yet." Her eyes shimmered. "Then go, my darling." The words hit me harder than I expected. Hearing that word from her lips, filled with warmth, reverence, and love. I turned away before my voice broke. As the Wayfarer rose into the black sky, I looked back one last time. She stood among the glowing ruins, light cascading around her like dawn breaking across eternity. Her lips moved silently, but I heard her in my mind. "Say it again, Elias." "Darling," I whispered into the stars. "Plug. They say no one's ever found Aurelia, 9 again." The coordinates vanished from the star charts. The moon doesn't appear on any scans. But sometimes late at night when the engines hum just right, I hear a faint echo through the comms, a voice of light and laughter. "Say it again." And I always do. "Darling." Because somewhere out there, beneath alien skies, she's still listening.